we're live.
We are live, episode 7.
We are live, episode 7. Oh boy, howdy, do we have a show today? Lots of hot topics.
I heard hot topics. I heard hot
I
topics.
just want to make sure that we are live real quick.
Yeah, it popped up on my shit.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, let me give it a like then, and then let's get started. Alright, bet.
I heard you have a lot of shit to talk about that you want to get off your
I got a
chest.
lot of things to talk about. You know, a lot of hot topics going on. A lot of hot topics. So,
I heard
um,
just move out of the way. You know what I mean? Give me about 10
yeah, I'm gonna
minutes
need about 10
off
minutes.
my
You know,
chest.
should I just get right into that? I mean, or should we do a little bit?
No, just hit him off with it.
All right. So we're gonna go right off the bat. Give them a little preview to start it off. Okay, so we'll just give it. Let's break it down for about a few minutes, and then I'll go off.
Okay.
We got Jon Jones, right? Posturing to fight Alex Pereira next. A lot of people are enraged because they would like it to be, obviously, Tom Aspinall. And you know, right now, Jon Jones has to get past Stipe Miocic, right? But with that being said, I guess I can get right into it. For the people who are saying that Jon Jones wants to fight or is ducking Tom Aspinall, first of all, that is one of my biggest pet peeves because it's like, bro, this Jon Jones, I mean, you're not even talking about a fighter. I give this rule to any fighter. But when you talk about Jon Jones, the greatest fighter of all time, you know, using the word ducking, you know, calling him scared, bro,
Mhm.
let's just wind back some of these words a little bit, calm down on the emotions, you know, with the name calling of the greatest fighter of all time. You know, he's not scared of anybody. The
You
bottom,
see where they're coming from, though?
what?
You see where they're coming from and why they're saying that?
I mean, no, but when you say like you're ducking, like a Luke Thomas, let me say it, like a Luke Thomas, you're a professional journalist, bro. Like you cover this sport and you're disrespecting fighters like that. Like just because Jon Jones has an opinion, right? He wants to fight Alex Pereira.
Calling out the big dog, Luke Thomas?
Dude, the big dog,
Woo!
he be
Woo!
barking like a chihuahua on Twitter.
Ooh, he coming out hot today. Okay, okay. Episode
I
seven's
mean, you
hot.
want to talk about Jon Jones like that when have you fought?
What did he say exactly?
I mean, he keeps saying he's ducking, and it's like, let me just lay it all out there. Like, okay, Jon Jones isn't ducking by not wanting to fight Tom Aspinall. Alex Pereira is the more accoladed fighter. You know, he has 2 titles in 2 separate divisions. Jon Jones also has 2 titles in 2 separate divisions. Can you tell me when is the last time or ever we had 2 double champions fight each other? And not only that, can you tell me the last time a fighter tried to fight for a 3rd title? Tell me that. And you don't have to, because I'll tell you that that's never fucking happened ever in the history. And people are over here saying that Aspinall deserves this shit. He doesn't deserve shit.
Just respond. He said, "Let me answer for you. Let me see." It's a Luke Thomas says, "I know a lot of what passes for discourse debate. I also think the way Jones is avoiding Aspinall sucks. But
Okay.
Jones' full 5 run is the most dominant I've ever seen a single fighter rule over a weight class. It wasn't flawless, but no one's run is, and I guess he said half. I'm trying to get what I'm trying to see where what you were saying to him.
He put a fucking tweet out there. I responded to the tweet. I helped his post go viral
Okay.
because everyone had something to say to my opinion. They're not just. I wasn't there to suck his dick like all of his other followers are.
Tell me how you really feel,
Hey,
bro.
I'll tell you how I feel because at the end of the day, I can admit it all. I even came at him a little bit about Ilya Topuria with Max Holloway, and I was like, "Yo, you really think Ilya's gonna fuck up Max with the crying, laughing face?" And then like he's like, "Yeah, you know, he gave me his opinion. I respect it. It's all fun and games. At the end of the day, we're just chopping it up. Like I could say what I want in a exciting way." And then you know, after the fight, I think I came back and I was like, "Damn, bro, you were right." You know, like I don't got no problems. Like, but dude, so we have had multiple interactions, but if like on this one, dude, like
Mhm.
I'm gonna say what I want to say, just like how I always do. You know, it doesn't really matter. Like, is Luke Thomas gonna help my career? No, you know, so I don't really care.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's all
And I mean, Luke Thomas is a peer of mine. We interview the same guys, so
right.
it's all. I could have my opinion too. We're equals in this field.
Exactly.
Um, okay, so let me say Luke Thomas, because you're looking up his points. Luke Thomas, his point is that he responded to me, so I'll tell you what he had to say.
Okay.
He says that Tom Aspinall is the most deserving champion in history. First of all, I would say the word deserving in this game is such a hard word. Nobody deserves anything. You know, what have you earned? You know, like what do you bring to the table? Because you could use the word deserve, but then when you have another guy who's campaigning for this fight and he outsells you, he has done more in this game than you. How tell me how you deserve something? Because
You know,
in the
and
UFC's mind, they want that money. They want
yeah,
that paper.
deserves an interesting word that you use because after listening to Jon Jones today at Media Day, he basically reiterated what you're saying and saying Tom Aspinall does not deserve this yet. So
And
interesting.
not deserve it over a guy like Pereira, you know? And this is my thing. Like, I'll speed it up to some degree and maybe I'll even like come back around. But, you know, what should Tom Aspinall do, right? Okay, what do you need? What should Tom Aspinall do then? Jon Jones is holding it all up. This is what you do, Tom, and this is your mistake from the get go. And you did it already, but you should have kept that same approach, which is keep defending that title. Forget about Jon. Like, just forget about him. He's doing his thing. He doesn't want to fight you. Go make yourself undeniable, right? And say, okay, Jon's fighting Stipe. I don't want to wait. Jon's fighting Stipe. That's a few months after my last fight. You know, by the time he's ready again, it's going to be another year. I'm not going to sit on the shelf. Get me ready. I want to fight. I hear there's a fight in February, in January. You guys need main events in December. Get me on something. Let me defend my title. I'm the champion. Let me defend my title.
Yeah.
And build a name for yourself. Next thing you know, right? It's like, oh, this man has defended the interim title 3-4 times. Jon is really ducking him. And you just build more of a case for yourself. You know, right now he has built the smallest case possible and he's like trying to run a mile with it. It's like Shavkat with the title shot off Wonder Boy sitting on his ass for a year. You know, Buckley just beat Wonder Boy. He turned around in 2 months. You know, fighters kind of fight. And I'm not saying be risky and all this stuff, but in the sense with Aspinall and Jon is clearly not wanting to fight you, and you guys are on opposite timelines. That's a twofer. You guys are on opposite timelines. You're gonna have to sit around for a year and a half and waste the prime years of your career. You're 30. Go defend that title, or you can fight Pereira, which, you know, that was a cool one, but Jon said he doesn't want to fight Tom regardless of anything. So you're going to just ruin that Pereira fight if you put them up against each other. So Pereira gets it. Bottom line. And last thing I got to say.
Yeah.
People are saying strip Jon Jones of the undisputed title. You know what? No. Because Jon Jones got injured, right? Jon Jones got injured. Look at the timeline. He was going to turn around and fight Stipe inside another year. He got injured, bro.
Yeah.
So, and then not only that, but he won the title, right? Now he's defending the title against the greatest heavyweight of all time. People are like, you're still not going to be the heavyweight champion unless you beat Aspinall. No. First off, he won the title and defended it. Pereira has won the title and defended it twice now. They both earned the right for a super fight as champions, and Tom needs to sit on his ass and wait.
I wish, you know, we could play
and it should be for the undisputed.
You know, I don't know if we can bring it in, but we should just play the whole like last 10 minutes of Jon Jones's media day today and react to it, because you almost not verbatim, but reiterated all his points. Did you watch it?
I mean, I watched it, but that's not even what I'm thinking about right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, but just because, I mean, and it's interesting, just like for everybody.
That entices you still. There's a part of it that does, but if I'm being completely honest, I feel like Tom's been such an asshole that I don't want to do business with him. You know?
Yeah, I mentioned that.
And obviously, you don't think.
You know, and I'm hearing people online talk about like, where has Tom been an asshole? And
I'm not calling Tom an asshole.
No, I think that Jon Jones, it's funny because he's been very cordial, but when something irks him, you could see that switch flip. He has that like, fuck you, bro. I don't give a fuck. I will fuck you up. Mm-hmm. Like his attitude completely changes.
No, I hear you. So, I mean, that's the, you know, my thing. I think that they should, you know, as far as like who should Jon fight on paper, bro, I mean, I want to see it more. Alex Pereira, just think of the selling points. You have a guy going for 3 titles, you know? And in my opinion, you know, Alex Pereira has more of that exciting knockout, put your lights out power. You're talking about a guy who can kick the fucking head off of Jon Jones. Respect to Tom, but it's more so Tom or Alex Pereira. You know? So I'm excited to see that fight if they do happen, because it's like that's more of a big knockout waiting to happen. And people are saying, oh, you know, Pereira, he can't wrestle Jon. Bro, what's the point in putting fights together if you guys know what's going to fucking happen?
True.
Like, stop with all that shit. He's a double champion in 2 different divisions running through these guys. Like, enough. Like, as far as, like, what you think is going to happen. Because at the end of the day, your beloved Tom Aspinall, that's a tough fight for him against Jon anyway. And people are acting like that Jon's going to get ran through on that.
Yeah.
You know, which, who knows? It's a fight. But I'm just saying, like, to be acting like anybody's running through anybody, you know? Jon's not running through Tom. That's a hard fight for Jon too. And he even admitted it, saying that's why I kind of want to fight Pereira, you know?
Yeah, and I think too, it's funny because I'll be devil's advocate here. When I heard Jon Jones speak today, I completely agreed with him. He doesn't need to. He can call his shots. In calling his shots, if he wants to fight Alex Pereira, and that's his prerogative, you know, if he doesn't want to fight Tom Aspinall, he's done enough within his career within the UFC to do whatever the fuck he wants, especially if he gets his win over Stipe.
Right.
And there are a lot of people online saying, you know, that he's ducking Tom, as you just mentioned. But I you know, I can see both points, but I could more see what Jon Jones was saying, especially about, you know, building a name for yourself. He even said it, dude, like, more power to you. Go on your own run. Accomplish everything that you want to accomplish. And I thought Jon Jones was, you know, saying, hey, I'll step down. I don't care about the belt. I'll fight Alex Pereira. That's the big fight.
You know, I think that's some of the media getting to him. You know, I don't think he should step down. I think he should run it with that belt one more time. You earned it, bro. You've defended the title, bro. And this is the other thing. Both these guys, right, have moved up divisions and they're defending their title. Who else has won a belt in another division and, like, defended that title? I mean, DC. But DC didn't even successfully defend it against Stipe. He lost both times. These guys moved up, won the title, and are defending it. Like, that's getting completely blown over for Tom Aspinall. And it's like, dude, how? Like, Tom Aspinall is a good guy. Like, nothing really against him. But, like, all this is an emotional type of thing. Like, these guys are so accoladed. It's a great fight.
So let me ask you
And
this.
he's brushing it over for a Tom Aspinall. Again, like, that interim title and shit, Jon said that should never been made. You know, that's his opinion.
Yeah, so let me ask you this then, you know, just kind of putting together the dots. So what do they do with the interim belt? What does Tom do?
Okay, here's what happens, right? Like I said, I think Tom should continue to push it as far as, like, in this time, right, while Jon and Stipe have been, like, getting their fight set up, I feel like Tom should have had a fight announced.
When was the last time Tom fought?
Can look it up.
He fought, was it Pierre? No, it wasn't Yuri, because that's light heavyweight.
Didn't he save a card in, like, I don't know. He saved this. Okay, so he fought in July.
Who did he fight?
Curtis Blades.
Right.
First round knockout in a minute. Okay, this is my point. You're healthy, bro. Run it again. And wait, July to August, August to September, October, November.
So technically, let's just say we'll play this out. So
it's been 4 months since his fight. He should have something booked.
So let's just play this out though. So Jon's is gonna fight Stipe. Jon, let's just say he wins theoretically. He then wants to set up the fight with Alex Pereira. Let's say they'd run that in the summer of 2025, maybe sooner, but I'm gonna just say summer. Tom Aspinall is gonna want to fight on the London card, right? That's supposed to be in March.
Mm-hmm.
So then Stan still has the heavyweight belt, but then we still have the interim belt, and so he's still Tom's still fighting for the interim belt.
Yeah, and you just fuck it all up because John's fucked it all up too in a way. Not John hasn't fucked it all up, but actually the UFC kind of fucked it up, right? By bringing this interim title in, because this is where all the confusion is happening and people are calling for a unification. But this is the thing. Hear me out.
Muddy. It's real muddy.
Yeah, and hear me out. So you said March, right, for London.
Yeah.
Right. So that's going to be around right now it's 4 months removed from Tom's fight. That's going to be another 4 months. So that would be 8 months. Right? That's perfect timing for Tom to get back in there. And this is what I'm saying. Tom should say, yeah, because look, and that's going to be what? A quick turnaround for John for 4 months. And John's obviously not going to accept that. So you just keep the waters muddy and say, yeah, I'm on my timeline. John's on his timeline. I'm not playing by this book anymore. Give me a fight at UFC London. I'm the champ in my mind, and I'm defending my title. Give me my opponent at UFC London. John won't be ready, but it doesn't matter because I'm the champion. And you just keep the waters muddy like that.
Yeah, I think that John, I think his mindset is like, hey, I only got like 2 or 3 fights in me. I really don't care about the belt anymore. But if I care about creating this, if he wins, I care more about creating this mega fight with, bro. That would be the sickest shit ever. Of the ultimate BMF fucking belt between Alex and Jon Jones. Just because like it's cute when 155ers and 145ers do it, but when it's like the baddest man on the planet, I mean, those are 2 of the baddest men on the planet.
Right.
Just due to their size.
So with that too, right? With that too, here's the thing. That's why you keep it for the undisputed heavyweight title as well, because, you know, it's more historic that way. And this is the thing that people are forgetting about. Listen, Jon Jones is going to be done after this. He's done after this. Let it fucking happen. If he does a quick turnaround inside a year, let it happen. Let him defend that title for a second time against Pereira. Give Pereira a chance at history himself and forget about Tom Aspinall. Everybody's being so selfish about Tom Aspinall. And let Alex Pereira also fight for history for a 3rd title. This is a historic fight. Yeah. And wait, just let me run right now. Let me run. Okay, so let that happen, okay? And by the time Tom keeps defending his title, you know, and John, that fight ends, right? And John relinquishes the heavyweight title. Tom now becomes the undisputed by default, right? And he's defended the title now 2 or 3 times, and he's just completely the champion in the people's mind. You know, he just needs to do his thing, but let these guys do history. You know, you can't be selfish, bro. You got gifted that title already. Not gifted, but they created it because John fell out. You need the event, you know? And so that's what I'm saying. People are being selfish. Like, to take away the undisputed title takes away part of what Pereira could accomplish. And that's why you can't really do that. And it's not like Jon Jones will hold it up for longer after that, because this is John's last fight pretty much after Pereira. And he's even saying he's willing to give it up now. So why wouldn't he be willing to give it up after? I'm defending him in that case and saying, let him keep it for 1 more if he beats Stipe for the history. You will never have this type of fight happen for another 100 years. And you're just going to wipe it out because Tom Aspinall was the fucking interim champion? Luke Thomas? No, that's not what's going to fucking happen. Not on my watch. Sean Shelby, whoever needs to get in line, call me. I got you. Jon Jones, Alex Pereira, 3-division champion, and Jon Jones is the fucking GOAT of all generations, from back when I was in high school till now. Over 15 years. That's what needs to happen.
Be legendary, and Dana would, you know, Dana's already gonna, if he's gonna do anything, he's gonna do all that.
The only thing that concerns me is Dana has promised in front of the media, right at a post-fight press conference, that Tom is next.
But you know he don't give a fuck.
He seems to keep his word about that. Like, look at Sean Strickland.
I mean, but Sean Strickland's a whole different case, bro. You know what I mean? Like, he's not over there praising Sean Strickland as the best ever already. You know?
Well, his love for John, yeah, he might.
And just for like what you just said right now, I mean, it would be the ultimate like.
It's the ultimate fight, dude. I cannot stand people shutting this down.
You know how much they could build that?
It's crazy. A 3-division champion. Imagine if Pereira knocked out Jon Jones.
It would be the most built up fight in UFC history.
Here, let me throw this one out there, right? All this talk. Let me give you a simple parallel.
And the Tom fight wouldn't be the biggest fight in UFC history.
No, but the title needs to be defended. The title would be unified. Who gives a fuck? Last thing I want to say, or not last thing, I'm going to stop saying that because it's not the last thing I want to say. But another thing I want to say about this is that Alex Pereira, right? It would be more. What would be more exciting? Alex Pereira knocking out Jon Jones and becoming an undisputed 3-division champion, or Tom Aspinall knocking out Jon Jones in the same fashion and unifying the title. Tell me what would be crazier the next day, that whole next week covering it.
Alex Pereira shit would be fucking insane.
So what are we doing here?
It would be fucking. It would be incredible.
And you know what? Jon Jones has earned all of this. The work he's put in. This isn't a fucking nobody, dude. This is not a nobody. This is the GOAT of the sport of all time.
And you know what? It would all play in Tom's favor if he gave it 6 to 12 months to kind of let the dust settle, because wherever the dust settles, he'll be that person to be able to fight it if he doesn't end up losing in the middle somewhere.
Right.
Because you can't wait that long either. You got to prove yourself. And Jon Jones is right. You're young. Go run it. Go run all these motherfuckers. Go run them all. Go run them all. You know, if you that dude, go run it all and go cash your checks.
And I want to give a hypothetical out there because, you know, just a question to you. Maybe in hindsight, and it's always 2020, but maybe, you know, Tom Aspinall did play his cards right. You know, if he went out there and he turned around again quickly, saved a card like Pereira's been doing. Like, imagine if Tom has stepped up one of these times, right, that Pereira did it. He did one time, but imagine if he did it again, right? And he has this highlight reel, right? His face on the screen, the big dog on TV. People are selling him as the big dog of the UFC. That challenges Jon Jones' ego directly. But him making a YouTube video responding to Jon, which he thought has been working, turns out it hasn't. And in my opinion, if he would have been knocking fools out, just being active. I'm not trying to discredit Tom. I know he's been active. But I'm just saying, like, you got to, if you take the attitude, throw Jon aside and focus on your career and build the biggest legacy for yourself possible without Jon Jones, I think you would have led yourself into a Jon Jones fight. But instead, you waited for the Jon Jones, and I think now it's passing you up. You came off too thirsty. You know, she don't want you no more. And that always happens.
It's interesting because, you know, there's a handful of people that we can say have created their own destiny and doing their call outs and continuously fighting. You know, Carlos Prates could be an example, you know, that a part of me wants to say, you know, a closed mouth don't get fed. Tom got to say something, though. He can't just not say nothing, you know? And so I give him that. Maybe it's not where he wants it to line up at, but him fighting in London and getting the next guy that's in line still boosts his career, and it still plays good on that card, and seeing where everything falls through it. And he's only 30. If he was 35, I may have a whole different opinion about that. You still got 4 or 5 years to fucking run it. And like you just said, create your own legacy.
Yeah, and so here's another point I got. I got points for days on this. Isn't Tom Aspinall, who don't Tom Aspinall want to fight? Don't gotta tell me he doesn't want to fight Cyril Gane. Run it. Run it. Because you're over here saying, no, I'm not going to fight Cyril Gane, and now Jon doesn't want to fight me, but Jon's the bad guy, but then you doing the same thing to another guy? Please, bro. And why don't you want to fight Cyril Gane? Because he denied you? Because he didn't want you when you were coming up? So don't you need that back?
Right.
Don't you guys need to run that because he disrespected you? You already said he disrespected you. You got to run it. If you're a real fighter, right, these are what the real fighters do. They say, no, I need that. I need that.
And I'll add on top of that. It was interesting to hear Jon Jones like insight on the whole fact of that, who he fought, and he's like, where is he at now? He goes, that's kind of how I look at, who was it? Alexander Volkov. Was it like he was the next big thing?
Sergey?
Oh, was it Sir? Who did John?
Sergey Pavlovich.
Maybe that's who it was. Let me look at the record real quick. It wasn't Gustafsson. Yeah, I think you're right, because he was like, you know, what did he said Cyril Gane. He's like, he was the big name, but what did that really do for me? I got to win.
And now people are discrediting the fuck out of him because he hasn't really proven much.
It didn't really boost me anything. And I liked his thinking behind it. I like your thinking behind it too, because low key, big key, you're right, because Tom Aspinall doesn't boost, he doesn't certify his legacy.
He's just another John B.
Right. And if you beat him, it's like, see, I told you.
Right.
I told you.
Right.
Like, he'll be building up all his rep. But the Pieta fight is like, whoa. It goes all back to what you just said. Like, that would be the biggest thing that UFC has ever created of all time.
And is Tom Aspinall versus Cyril Gane for the interim title not exciting?
No, run it. And
so why not? So people are playing here. People are playing, bro.
And Cyril Gane is French, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a great, you could build that story. London, France, in London.
They're playing. They're all playing.
Yeah.
They're all playing. They're all talking shit on Jon Jones. And it's ridiculous, bro. Because
but let's say this too. Like how people were using Connor's name to run their name up. People are doing that with Jon Jones too.
And that's fine. That's totally fine. Do your thing with that. But I need to see a Tom Aspinall fight announcement soon.
Yeah.
I need to see it, bro. Jon has not been more clear that he doesn't want to fight you, dude. So just move on and give us good fights. Give us good fights. You can fight Cyril Gane. That's a great fight.
It's like Michael Chandler waiting for Connor. Let's get back to business, bro.
Back to business, dude. Run it with Cyril Gane. I know you're confused with the interim title, but how hard is it for me to fucking explain it to you? Forget it. Like, just defend it. Just call yourself the champion. Just create your own narrative. Show up to media day.
Do what Connor would do.
Show up to media day and say, I'm the undisputed champion. Here's my undisputed title.
Yes. All day.
Call your shots. Do your thing. Talk your shit.
All day.
But don't be making a YouTube video calling out Jon. Do it in the media and get a fight booked, bro. Like, be the fighter that we want to see. And I feel like I come off like, oh, like, you know, I got this energy, but it's like, bro, I'm just so frustrated because these guys don't fight how, like, we want to see it.
Start off and say I got no energy. We're just behind the scenes.
Yeah, I told you I was having a fucking rough day today.
Did you just go do a Red Bull real quick? Did a little bump that I didn't even know
about? Dude, I was actually gonna make a little pre-workout drink before we started, but
a little creatine.
I was, so I could like sip on it while we're doing this, and then I'll hit the gym. But I didn't make the pre-workout drink.
All right.
So, man, it's a lot of my points. I hope Luke Thomas sees this.
Oh, I think you fucking clip that motherfucker and tag him.
Man. But yeah, I think even Ariel's making cases for, like, Tom Aspinall, the history there. Like, dude, do not even compare Tom Aspinall versus the Pereira fight. I feel like I didn't even grace the stupidity that he tried to sell to his audience as far as like why the Aspinall fight should happen over Pereira. And I'll even say this about the Ariel take. Ariel's over here like, I think Jon Jones is...
Brought up Ariel.
Hear me out. Listen to this one. Ariel's like, oh, I think Jon Jones is trolling. I think he's trolling. I think that he's just setting up the Tom Aspinall fight. Dude, you cannot speak this into existence, Ariel. Accept it. He doesn't want to fight Tom. He's not trolling. And he wants to fight Alex. How hard is that to understand? Him and DC both are saying that shit. But look at DC don't fuck with Jon. Jon doesn't come on Ariel's show, does he? Who comes on Ariel's show? Aspinall. I get it, bro. I want Joaquin to be champ. He always comes on my show. I get it. But don't be spewing that shit out there to me.
It is funny every time. Ariel's so funny the way he like says things about fighters. Like, oh, did you see that clip? You know, like it'd be like kind of like went against him. Mm-hmm. But he always like tries to be in the middle. You know what I mean?
But
like,
then if you are a common guest on a show, he fucking parades you like Aspinall. And that's where a lot of these fans are like, you know, coming. Also, Luke Thomas
post on Twitter saying you're talking that shit. Could jump in.
All right. Also, Luke Thomas. What about Luke Thomas? Jon Jones. He asked Jon Jones a question at a press conference, and Jon Jones is like, honestly, Luke, I don't fuck with you. And look at Luke making all this fucking videos and all these tweets about Jon not wanting to fight Tom. You know, don't let it fool you guys. Do not let these big wig journalists, right? These big name journalists, right? Use their platform to misinform you because they've been fucked over by Jon.
Man, you calling everybody out today, bro.
Well, then tell the truth. Don't be spewing bullshit because Jon doesn't like you.
Okay, so hold on. So we get Ariel get in line.
Ariel get in line.
I thought him and Ariel were cool. Didn't Ariel just like drop a post like when they did their old interviews and shit?
I saw that, but No, they're not cool anymore.
All right. So Ariel get in line. Luke get in line.
Yeah. But
we already know Crazy Kev's in fucking the back of the line and shit. Like that motherfucker can't even look up and see anybody past the line and shit.
Just letting everyone know, Jon doesn't like these guys that are going after him. Some of the biggest journalists in the game, but I'm coming for them.
I just said, hey,
Luke Thomas can't be spewing that bullshit any longer. That was childish.
Some homies live with Parry Punch on YouTube, and he's going off about Jon Jones not wanting to fight Tom Aspinall next. Jump in, talk your shit.
Let's go.
You know what?
Pull up the chat. Let me see if there's.
Yeah, I like when I have my marketing hat on, bro. Like that's a good little. That's something we should copy and paste for next time when we do these lives.
Yeah.
5 or 10.
It'd be good to have a third party to be able to do that too. But we'll get there eventually.
Hey, what homie wants to help the homies out? Who wants to help the homies out? You feel me?
Yeah. I just went on a rampage there. Okay, I think we're 30 minutes in right now. I think I don't think I got anything else to cover on that, but if I do, I will definitely bring it up again.
That was the best one I've had with you.
That one was crazy. I feel like I just got out of fucking like the octagon. Okay, so I guess we can move on to like let's recap UFC Vegas 100 real quick, I guess.
Okay. I'll start off with you. You know, you already know welterweights. I had Carlos Prates in my top 20, right? I think I said 16, 17, 18. I think we found out where Mac Malott was at. I think he drops a little bit below 20. Renat, he bops a little bit below 22, right? We had Carlos Prates, Brian Battle, your boy Randy Brown.
Your boy.
My homie, we know that fight's coming up. And Nicholas Dalby, he didn't fight, so he's going to have to be on that 20 as well. Then we got Carlos Prates right at 16. We knew if he beat Neil Magny, he's going to get in that top 15 rankings. Bro, Neil Magny was glass, bro.
But bro, I looked at his previous fights, and he didn't even lay down for a lot of tough guys like Ian Gary and shit. And Prates put him out, so he must have done something right.
Yeah, but I think even the last two, though, bro, it's getting easier to beat him
as he gets older.
Yeah,
I guess so.
Someone even said, what does that say about Mike Malott? And I was like, kind of true, and that he couldn't put him out because Ian Gary toyed with him, bro. And that's why at the time I didn't like Ian Gary. It's like, bro, just finish it, dog. Don't go in there and fucking toy with the man and shit. If you got him, got him. You know what I mean? And I think Carlos, he happened just to hit him, but it wasn't like something that was super devastating. Yeah, he hit him on the temple and he clocked him, right? But he just fell like glass, dog. Like, it's time. You know what I mean? You're not the ultimate gatekeeper anymore. Like, I think that the Nicholas Dalby or Brian Battle or Carlos Bonfim or Randy Brown, they would do the same thing to him. Now, the question's going to be, like, MVP's now 15. That's a good gatekeeper. If you can be MVP, get in.
Yeah.
Stephen Thompson.
They signed MVP to big money, so I don't think they're going to give him, they're probably going to give him one more big fight.
Right. And so, like, even with, like, Gilbert Burns, like, these guys are Colby Covington. Like, man, get back in the line, too, bro. Get you 16 now. But Carlos Prates, to me, and I'm a big fan, and you probably already know this since we talk about him a lot, I think he still has a lot more that he needs to prove to me to get into that real top 5 contention. Him calling out JDM, I don't see that, bro. Like, he needs to fight like a Jeff Neal, who just won 2. Who did he just beat pretty handedly?
Dos Anjos?
Yes. Dos Anjos 2 is on that back 9. You know what I mean? Like, he's already been injured.
Bro, he's been in like the lightweight rankings.
Right. But
like,
you know what I mean?
You're fighting at 170, yeah.
So, that Jeff Neal, I think, would be a good next fight for Carlos Prates to see where are you really at. Just like Ian Gary had, to see where are you really at. MVP, where are you really at? These guys are going to test you a lot. Neil Magny didn't test Carlos Prates. We need to see him test it. I'd even like to see him fight Nicholas Dalby.
I think he did test him a little bit, though. I saw, like, before that knockout, I was thinking, like, he wasn't looking too good.
Yeah, but they were going.
Were you impressed before that knockout?
I thought they were going through the dance.
They were going through the little dance. That's what I'm saying. Prates wasn't looking too good in the dance.
Yeah, but he wasn't like.
And then boom, he just like put his lights out.
But you saw
he just didn't show enough to me.
No, but he did. But it's interesting. He kind of like he turned on a switch. You saw when he started to go a little bit.
He hit that like Alex Pereira like fucking trance.
All right, let's go. Yeah, like he kind of was. I felt like he was kind of filling him out, seeing where we're really at, and I like that. Renato, he says it a lot. In the beginning of his career, he just would go all out. I just want to box you. I just want to fight you. Where he didn't have the strategy, and now Nato has more of a strategy when he goes into his fights. And I think Carlos Prates has a little bit of that as well. And you need that to kind of see where you're at. And then he put it on, but then like he just kind of touched him a little bit and he just fell.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, all right, that was cool. It was cool. I'm glad, and I think you deserve to be in the rankings. That's why I think this division's so fun, bro, because you got 4 or 5 dogs still waiting to get in, and you got 4 or 5 dogs that can kind of get pushed out.
Yeah.
And this they're doing killers. Shavkat, JDM, Ian Gary, Joaquin Buckley, Carlos Prates, Sean Brady, Leon Bilal, sorry. They're the former champions. I get them all the way down at the bottom. Just those 10, you know what I mean? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Not even talking about Brian Battle. Not even talking about the Randy Brown. We'll see what happens with Carlos Bonfim and Gabriel Bonfim. But, that was and then Ritter. Nah, bro, he ain't going to hang in there with those other guys, dog.
Bro, he's another one who I like.
Nah, bro.
I mean, we'll just see. We'll see. It's his first one. Let's see. It was okay.
Looked too clunky to me, bro. He looked like too like.
I mean, he's definitely gonna get. He's like a Paul Craig.
Yeah.
He's gonna get beat up a lot of times, but he's gonna come across these guys who he just like taps out quick.
Yeah, like I could like, I'm glad he's in there. You know what I mean? But I don't. MVP, same story. I'm glad he's in there, but you ain't getting the belt.
No, not at this point.
No. It's good. It's cute. It's cute.
That Kevin Holland win was good.
Burrs.
Michael Venom Page in his debut.
That
was a good win.
Yeah. But I mean, MVP lost to Ian Gary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did he have another fight after that or no?
No, he's gonna get another one soon, probably. Yeah.
I mean, I like that he's in the division. He shakes some shit up, but he's not. If him and Ian Gary would have run it back, or he run it back with Joaquin, he ain't winning though, bro.
So with Prates, I give him credit for that Neil Magny knockout, but here's because it was kind of like one of those ones, I guess. What's kind of like the better way to beat a veteran, like a gatekeeper? The way Ian Gary did it, where you just dismantle him and you show like you're a class above, because then you don't really have any questions, Or is it the way Prates did it, knock him out? Because then you got people being like, oh, like he's just old now. Like that's what you said. You said it's getting easier to knock him out, but who knows if it was really what Prates did?
But the UFC still, for the longest time, all these divisions has that ultimate gatekeeper, right? And eventually those guys get kind of pushed out and the new gatekeeper kind of gets in because they can still collect a check and they can still put up a really good fight. And they're the guys that like, okay, all these newcomers coming in, if you can get past him, it's almost like the video games, bro. I swear to you, like when you ever do like the boxing or the UFC games?
Yeah.
There's that one guy that like you're trying to build your character up
and then they throw you him.
Right, and you like he's solid everywhere, and you're just like you have to like do everything to try to beat him just to get past him. And that was Neil Magny. 2-3 years ago, I would have been like, yeah, give him Carlos Prates. Let's see where he's at. What was it, a year ago or a year and a half ago that Ian Gary fought him? It's been over a year.
Yeah, probably over a year.
And they were saying too, I was in Collins' spaces, and I liked all their points. They were saying, well, Neil Magny's never lost back-to-back fights. So a lot of people were saying that. And I was like, all right, I get that. I respect that. But age, father time, bro, about to be 38, cracked the last 2 times, 3 out of 4 maybe. Like you're on the back nine. You're at the 17th hole. I don't know if you play golf, but.
So you think Prates would have been better off in your mind if he kind of cooked Magny for longer over the course of the 3 rounds, or you think?
No, you did your job. But now let's see the real test.
Because I feel okay, but that's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying is like, why wasn't Magny the real test? Why take that away? Is it because of the knockout? If he would have beat Magny over the 3 rounds dominantly, would he have showed you more? No,
because I still think Neil is not that gatekeeper anymore like he used to be. If he went and did that to MVP, Okay. Like how Shavkat did Stephen Thompson, how Joaquin did Stephen Thompson. These are definitive wins versus guys that are like, whoa, okay. You now need to go into that top 10 ranking talk. Carlos Prates gets one more.
Okay. So in a way too, you're kind of like, it's about what Neil Magny wasn't able to show to bring out of Prates.
And just where he's at in his career. Yeah, he didn't.
Because I guess you're saying too that with the Wonder Boy Buckley
Here's-
example, Wonder Boy did more in that fight.
And he brought him to the dark waters.
And you're saying Magny didn't really do that to Prates, so that's why you need to see Prates. That's what I'm trying to say, though. If he would have brought him to that dark waters in the third, I think you'd be saying a different thing.
Okay, yeah, you would have been more challenging if you would have challenged him more
Right.
to have to put up a fight and show the grit. Yes.
Yeah, I hear you. And that's a tough one, for these gatekeepers. But yeah, once that I can kind of agree with your point as far as like once that gatekeeper just starts getting knocked out like that, it's time to kind of like find a new gatekeeper who can give them these tough matchups because Magny can't give it anymore.
Always going to be the new number 15.
The new number 15, yeah. They always have one. They're always looking. It used to be Donald Cerrone at one point in time, Till Donald just started getting knocked out. Then it's like, all right, we need a new gatekeeper.
And even I left out Michael Morales.
Where do you think he fits in? I mean, like I said before, I told Themba I want to see them run it. I could see him fight Prates.
Okay, back to what you said.
I could see MVP Morales.
Of course, all day. But does Michael Morales doesn't fight up? He's gonna want to fight down. And it goes back to what you said. You let's build these guys up, right? Let's give them like a Colby.
He's too high for him, I think.
Colby's what, 5, 6?
Yeah.
Morales is what, 10?
10.
I'll give him Colby. Let him just fuck him up and say, man,
Colby ain't taking that.
he's gonna. Hey, pretty soon everybody's gonna pass him up, bro. He's gonna keep Drachman like Dominic Cruz.
Well, I mean, who knows? Colby and Kamaru seem to be in that Shavkat talk right now.
So, hey, I'm glad you brought that up. I'll wait till we get onto that topic.
Okay.
Yeah. But the other highlights, like we said, Renier and
that was a cool fight. That was a cool fight. I like to watch it. Did you like to watch that really, or you didn't really like it?
they just seem like two big robots.
Like
yeah, dude. Like it was like I don't know, bro. It was like it was cool. But I wasn't like.
If Rainer can do that against some other it's that same thing with Neil. If Rainer could do that against some other high level competition in a war, I'd be more impressed.
He just was so.
I think Gerald is another one of those gatekeepers who he's done with the gatekeeping.
Yeah, he was just so tired. Like it was just like it was embarrassing to almost watch it.
Which one?
Let's see here. What was the other one that? Oh, the one thing though was 8 out of 11 finishes. I like that.
That was yeah. I was listening to it while I was like driving my car, and I kept hearing like finish.
Oh yeah,
like,
bro.
Damn.
The other homie, Dos Santos, in the welterweight division, he got a TKO. That he might be in that top 20 talk now.
Who's Dos Santos?
Alzio Zaleski Dos Santos.
He's a beast.
Yeah. So he's in that welterweight. He's in that welterweight. So like he had just
He'll probably be a gatekeeper soon.
See, now that's a good gatekeeper.
Yeah, because he's older.
Right. He lost to Randy Brown in a decision, and Randy Brown did fuck him up. So I like that. I like that gate. So like the thing, Renat didn't impress me. Mike Malott didn't impress me. Like that was a good win. You did your job, and you fucking did a TKO. So 8 out of 11. I like that. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay. Let's see here. Shout out to Carlos Prates. You got to get off those cigarettes, bro. You're going to get knocked the fuck out by someone. That's all I really got to say. But shout out to Prates. I hope he gets a good fight. Like I said, give him a Morales, or I even say give him JDM. Like I personally am cool with that. The only thing is I don't know if JDM will take that. But, he also said Jeff Neal, right? Prates said Jeff Neal, so let him run it with Jeff.
That's a good call out. See, for me, the JDM is not he hasn't earned that yet.
Okay, then give him Jeff.
Oh yeah, all day give him, bro.
Then
all
give
day
him Jeff. I'm good with that.
Or Kobe.
We'll see. We'll see who Colby fights. Dude, that guy, him and Usman are the biggest mysteries to me.
Now, here's the crazy thing too, and I know this is one of our topics. Vincent Luque is about to fight Nate, right? Nick, I'm sorry, Nick. So Vincent Luque too is kind of like becoming a gatekeeper as well.
Yeah. Although he's fighting Nick, who's, that's not really a gatekeeper fight. That's like, they're giving him that's a good fight. Anyway, about that, should we go into that one?
Yeah. Well, you went viral, bro.
Yeah, that one went crazy.
That shit was like, how did you even hear about that? How did you even
like 12 million? Shout out.
My guy, 12 milli?
Yeah, hey,
12 milli.
I'll give a shout out to one of my boys.
Yeah, how'd you get? Yeah, what's the juice on this?
Cosmic MMA.
Okay. Shout out to Cosmic MMA.
He actually posted it on Instagram first.
Okay. Yeah,
he lives nearby too. He's a SoCal boy too.
Oh, that's the homie then.
Yeah, we just know each other. I seen him like post on his story one time, like him like hitting the bag or something, and like in Long Beach or some shit. So I DM'd him. And I'm like, oh, you live that close to me? And he's like, yeah. I was like, oh, I'm over here in OC. So he always posts good shit, but he's not really news. He's like memes, funny shit. But like he ends up posting a lot of good content, like low key.
But how did he find it then? Did he say?
So I didn't speak to him directly. I just saw he posted it. So then I went and searched it up on Twitter. And like basically the story for me is when I went up on there on Twitter, I just searched Nick Diaz, and then a bunch of the videos popped up, but it was like random accounts like commenting it, like saying like Nick Diaz is back. Nick Diaz is back. And I was just like, like I guess it's a story. I guess people are posting about it, but there wasn't like none of the big ones did yet. Like spin a back fist, champ rounds, like
that juice quick. You got on that juice first.
So I was like, yeah, I mean, I gotta post this one. So I posted it and it went like crazy viral. But yeah, I guess none of the big news accounts posted it yet. I guess that was the first one. But it wasn't like I found it out of nowhere. I literally searched Nick Diaz and it was there. It just kind of like went underneath the suggestion feed, if you will.
Yeah, but it goes back to what you said before. It's like we're all kind of covering the same thing, right?
Right.
Like one of us is having some special juice, but sometimes when you word it or the timing can catch fire.
But I think it wasn't popping up in everyone else's feed for some reason. I think the way I worded it or something, something.
Posted on YouTube too?
No, I didn't. This is what I've been waiting for this.
Bro, you should have dropped that on your shorts like that.
Nah.
Oh, you would have got viral on YouTube too?
They're going to do the same shit. They're going to be a copyright. I'm like, nah.
That's different though. That's different. You didn't want to chance it.
And I'm so done with that.
I would have done that. Next time, you know what? You got to hit me on that juice. I would have dropped that shit so quick.
But you could do other stuff. Like I should have just done a voiceover.
Hold on. So just see, now we're talking. Hey, so let everybody know the story then, because I was still like trying to figure out everything, like because it looked like it was tweaking and shit.
So let me lay it out there based on everything I know. I don't want to say his name. Okay. I told you, but he's one of Nick's friends. Basically, let's start from the beginning, right? Yeah. When I looked at that video, I was very concerned. I posted on my story saying like, I tried so hard to not find anything wrong with this video and find like the innocence and the fun in it, and I couldn't. And the truth is, I'm a little bit concerned for Nick, but the fan in me, the one who wants to see the good in him, I just tried so hard to think it was a funny video. I tried to, but I couldn't. And so anyway, with that being said, I did get concerned, but it turns out, I believe, that I think he was just on some type of shroom trip.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'd give him that, actually. I would give him that.
Yeah, because like I said, I tried to find the innocence, and that's the most innocent thing I could find, like as far as like a thought. I feel like he was on a shroom trip. I feel like maybe things did get out of hand in that sense, but who hasn't done that on a shroom trip? That's completely normal.
And when is he supposed to fight? Is the
December 10th, I believe.
It's the UFC 310, okay. Because that press conference would be interesting to.
Yeah, so I got some details as far as like, I've got a lot of people coming at me saying like, you confirmed it, what else did they have to say? Like, just basically saying I didn't confirm it.
That it wasn't him.
Now,
and it's not like you said he was over there smoking crack or something.
No, I said he was lighting a piece of grass on fire,
Okay. It looked like he was like smoking meth or something. I don't know what the fuck he was doing, bro.
Yeah, right. I mean, it didn't look good at first, but it turns out he was probably just on mushrooms. His friend said that yes, it was Nick. He spoke to him, and Nick admitted to him that it was him.
Okay.
So that's how much I know it. It's not like, oh, like, yes, that was Nick, and I'm his friend, and I'm saying it's him. His friend asked Nick, and Nick said, yeah, that was me, but that video is kind of taken out of context.
But and didn't his girl like post something too on her Instagram?
So there's more to it, right? Apparently, Nick is right now currently laid up with another woman who's not his girl.
Oh, no.
And Nick's girl got a little bit mad, I think, and she, for some reason, posted that to her story. That's the word on the street. That's the word I'm getting.
Okay, so he was with another homegirl.
Nick is currently in Vegas, laid up with another girl, training for UFC 310.
And so the other girl's the one that posted that?
And his girlfriend of a long time, of many years, I think has been trying to get in contact with him.
Uh-huh.
And he hasn't been as easily able to get in touch because he's with someone else.
Got you.
And so I think to some degree, she posted this video, no telling when it was. You know, I did that. I slipped up on that. I wasn't able to ask that. But no telling when this video was. But the release of that might have to do with the fact that Nick is currently laid up with another woman right now.
Okay, so it was his current girlfriend that
His current girlfriend that he might be cheating on.
She's the one that posted that.
She posted that because I think she's like upset with him because he's being unfaithful.
So he was out. So she saw him in the street and recorded him. Like, Nick, what?
I'm going to assume that was her that filmed that video.
Right.
Or, you know, she's actually, you know what? He said that he doesn't know like how she got that video, if she has spies or something like that. These are words that he said. So judging off of that, I don't know, you know, he said he doesn't know if she got spies, how she got that video. So I don't really know.
Yeah.
You know, if she filmed it or not.
Yeah.
But somehow she got that video.
I'll tell you this, bro. If you see a video of me like hunching down in the middle of the night, like with fire, bro, worry about me, please.
Worry about you?
Something went awry. Like something's not lining up.
Yeah. Being out in the street by yourself. That was my thing. To by himself. Maybe he was with homies.
Just the way you do it, like you're all crouched down and shit. Like you look like a tweaker.
With no homies laughing behind you.
Right. Like you by yourself. Right.
It was sad.
Oh, it was sad. Yeah.
Now it turns out he did a lot of shrooms and he kind of like went on his own journey, it seems.
If that's the case, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've gone on my own journeys with like shrooms and shit. So like I get that, but yeah.
Now here's the other thing we got to get into, right? Because why is he on shrooms? Why is he using drugs? You know, I'll say this, you know, and this isn't even really something to get clipped off. You know, I'm just speaking like the truth here.
Okay.
That's not the only stuff that Nick has been, you know, kind of like engaging in, you know, in his personal life. And obviously in a fight camp, he's not doing that. I got confirmation that he's not doing hard drugs, right? But mushrooms and stuff, you know, and he engages in other drugs, right? When he's not in a fight camp. I'm just going to say that, you know,
okay.
he does what what comes across, you know, but here's the thing. Here's why.
Because,
I don't want to say.
Okay.
But he does because of what I'm trying to say is there's mushrooms and there's weed, and those are kind of innocent, right?
Can be.
But then when you go into some pharmaceuticals,
sure,
some other ones, right?
You go into another level.
So sometimes he does dabble in that other level.
Okay.
But the thing is that, you know, Nick is kind of struggling, right? Just like all these other fighters that you've read their testimonies with, you know, the life of being a fighter. You know, he's struggling with probably his mind and his body. And so I think a lot of times he's resorting to drugs and stuff like that to kind of like help his mind personally, you know.
He's almost 40, yeah.
And you see that with these guys like, you know, Shane Carwin and all these guys who we've talked about before with the CTE stuff again. But I'm just relaying it out there that, you know, Nick, I heard that he is taking like other drugs too at times. Mm-hmm. And, you know, to some degree that has to do with the traumas of fighting and trying to cope with it, you know, and not really having a lot of, I think, like health insurance and stuff.
And these aren't like, you know, he was at a party and he did some drugs. This is more like, hey, dude, like he's fucking trying to cope with life and shit.
I think so. I think he does drugs to cope.
He's trying to numb whatever he's going through. To not
when he's out partying, you know.
Because I mean, there's different. Those are two different conversations, right? If he's out partying and chilling with homies, having to do, a bump or something. I'm not, whatever. Do you know what I mean? But if it's like, to stay functional and become an addict and fucking like,
I don't think it's to stay functional. I think it's more so with the homies.
Okay.
But I think that like it's more frequent than you'd probably want for him. And I think it has to do with the fact that, these guys struggle with things that we could never comprehend. Like, who knows how he's feeling in his mind? But just try to take yourself there to some degree and think about all the punches he's taken and stuff, and with his mind and stuff. You can't blame these guys for maybe wanting to try drugs and to get them out of that sober feeling, because who knows what that feels like for them. I want to smoke weed to get out of that sober feeling, and I've never been punched in the fucking head. Some people drink to get out of that sober feeling, and they've never been punched in the head. So I'm just saying, you gotta like care for these guys, and when you see them, I'm saying that to say, like, when you see him doing shrooms and stuff, don't really judge him even, like, because these guys are like, they go through so much, you could never imagine what goes through their mind and the pain they might suffer.
Well, look at, bro, like, I mean, all cards on the table. I'm an addict, you know what I mean? Like, so I understand exactly what you're talking about. Alcohol, I've been down that road and shit.
Right.
It's a slippery slope. Very slippery slope. You know what I mean? One of the homies here at the station and shit, he passed away because he overdosed. So I know exactly what we're talking about when it comes to stuff like this. And so, if he's doing it to cope and it's an addiction, that's a whole different conversation. He's doing it because he's this, party favors and he's out with the boys and shit. All right, whatever, But that look isn't good, because if you took 1 and 1 together, it's not 11, it's 2.
I hear you. It is party favors, I feel like. But at the same time, I feel like he wouldn't even be doing that if he was like solid in the head,
I mean, I guess maybe then I'm not solid in the head either, because I mean, I would do it.
I guess I haven't really revealed what like I heard he might be taking on the side. But
there's
for
levels.
example, I don't think Nate is out here doing some crazy hard drugs. I think Nate just sticks to the weed and the shrooms.
Right.
I think that Nick dabbles a little bit more hardcore because he's struggling a little bit more.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately. But hey, that's with everyone. I've had homies who have more pain, in their life, and they're more down to try whatever. It's a personality thing, I think, to some degree.
Yeah, and like I said, it goes back to as well, like if you're taking substances and it's leading to an addiction, and you're doing it behind closed doors, and you're getting caught in situations where you're out and about and fucking look like you're down on the fucking floor like you're tweaking, there's something going on.
Well, devil's advocate, his girlfriend said like addiction will eventually take you out. So I'm over here trying to say, like, I don't really think Nick is addicted. I think it's more so party favors, but he just kicks it with the boys all the time. So I mean, party favors, all the boys don't have jobs, you're doing it like 5 nights a week. So call it out what you want to call that.
Idle hands.
What does that mean?
Idle hands just mean like, when you're just chilling at home and you're doing nothing, and you're like, the boy calls you, your boy keep calling you like, hey, let's go out. All right, let's go.
I think that's pretty much Nick's life outside of fighting.
Let's go. Like, you don't keep yourself busy doing something positive and constructive, you start hearing the devil a little bit. Idle hands.
So, I'm saying party favors, but I guess full disclosure, party favors could mean up to 7 days a week because he's always kicking it with the boys.
That's a whole different story. So, you know what I'm saying?
Again, I don't think he's like addicted, but it's a weird, you're blurring the lines.
Oh, big time, bro, because it becomes an addiction without you even knowing it. Without you, now all of a sudden, it's like, I couldn't even, I can tell you countless stories, but we won't even get into that.
Right. But with that all said, I did ask, I said, should we be worried about Nick? Like, is he crashing out? I said this like pretty much verbatim. I said, is Nick crashing out because the Vicente Luque fight got booked and like he just can't handle fighting anymore? Like, is that what it is? Like, he just can't handle the pressures of it. It's too much for him, like, throughout his whole life. I was
surprised when they announced that fight, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but his friend said that, no, he's not too pressured. He's not crashing out. He's excited, not excited because that's not a word Nick uses, but he's training hard for the fight and he's motivated for the fight and he's like healthy for it. Yeah. So, that's the word on the street. That's all I can really say, They don't really give me too much info other than that.
Want to keep some things hush with what the whole picture looked like.
But he's like staying at a fighter house right now, I think, with a couple other guys at the moment in Vegas. So that's currently where Nick's at.
We'll see how UFC 310 press conference looks.
the thing too for me is like, I wonder what's up with Nick and Nate. I have a suspicion that Nick and Nate aren't exactly on the super best terms. You talk about how Nick's also like going through it with his girl, maybe like cheating on his girl or whatever. Who knows, like if Nate doesn't want to get involved with some of that stuff, or if it's blurring lines, you know. But,
I mean, brothers, right?
brother, you know, that all could be in play. But it seems like Nick and Nate aren't
I got
really.
my own shit with my own brother, bro. I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but
when
this is the fight game. You know, these guys are like, you know, supposed to always be tied in.
yeah, but I mean, life's life.
It just sucks when you don't see Nate around him, you know, right now.
I mean, I got my own issue with my own brother. Like, it's like when I see you, dog.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna have to let you do you.
That's life. But hopefully, with that said, hopefully Nate will show up to the fight, though. You know, hopefully Nate could be there.
Well, and I'm even interested too because on that same card, man, Shavkat still doesn't have a fight. I don't think what's his name, Asakura and Pantoja are going to be the main fight here. So you know what's crazy? Last time we talked about something like this, Dana White dropped it on a Thursday. I think he's going to drop something tomorrow.
Maybe.
I know. That's what happened last time when we were talking about this
with Buckley Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the next day, then they fucking announced it.
Probably Usman. That's my guess.
I mean, who else are they? Who else can it be at this point?
Probably Usman. Usman left Florida and he's in Colorado now, so I'm sure it's gonna be him. How much does that suck though? The fact that you were the champ at Killcliff, right? Shavkat comes there, and Shavkat's now training there. And as soon as the fight gets like rumored that they're gonna fight, you have to leave your own gym that Shavkat's training at. Wild shit.
Hey, you're gonna gotta pick sides.
But for Henry Hooft and them, shit, ain't no loyalty there.
Well, it's like, who are you gonna put your money behind? What horse are you gonna ride?
Well, keep in mind also, I don't know if you forget, but when Kamaru Usman fought Gilbert Burns, they both trained at the same gym, and Killcliff sided with Gilbert over Kamaru.
Interesting.
Or Kamaru left, so make that what you might want to make of it. Yeah.
And didn't Kamaru win though?
He won, and then he's always kind of like done his main camps over in Colorado, but in the off season he comes back to Florida because his daughter.
Find out he's in Colorado.
What?
How did you find out he was in Colorado?
I checked his story, and there's like snow and shit.
Oh, little detective. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking first thing in the morning, Kamaru Usman's story.
That's snow.
You live in Florida, right? Nah, not right now.
Oh, look a little cold there. You got a jacket on?
And that just like confirmed my suspicions because I was like, bro, Kamaru and Shavkat are training at the same gym. They can't fight.
Mm-hmm.
But then instantly Kamaru goes to Colorado, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna fight. I think the last topic of the day, unless you got something to say about that.
I want them to line it up, Dana. Drop it tomorrow, Dana. Drop the news tomorrow. We're a month away.
I don't really think you need to have any faith in Colby fighting Shavkat. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Usman.
No, Colby's over there chilling with Trump right now.
Doing his thing.
Yeah, he's about to get announced into the cabinet.
Yeah. Okay, so Mike Tyson, Jake Paul. Big fight. You know, this one is tough.
In what way? Why? In what way?
The number one way is that I don't want to see Mike get knocked out, bro. 58 years old, bro. Like, your life, like, think just this image. Jake knocks him out, and Mike's basically in a wheelchair from then on.
What do you keep on saying, though, about these fighters, like, you know, needing money, or what are they fighting, or what are they doing? This is the ultimate fucking story of that.
I don't think Mike needs money. You got to look up his net worth.
Bro, he said before he's broke.
He's not broke right now.
But what do you think broke means to Mike, though?
Let's look up his net worth.
If he had $1 million.
I think he owns like a weed farm.
I think he's starting to I think in the past 2 or 3 years, he has rolled out some business ventures that are starting to, you know, generate some wealth. But he has been bankrupt, broke multiple times.
He has been. They're not really saying how much his net worth is. They're saying it was $300 million, but honestly, I don't think he's broke right now.
Well, I hope not. But this is gonna put him back, give him some money though.
This is gonna give him some money. But you think he's fighting for money? I don't think he's fighting for money. I think I don't know. Shit. I mean,
What is he fighting for?
maybe because he's fucking crazy.
But I mean, really, but what is he? There's not a belt on the. You're fighting Jake Paul.
Okay, maybe he is fighting for money, but he's not broke.
Maybe he's not broke, but this is definitely gonna be like, all right, whew.
Like he's fighting because he's like 40 million for my kids when I die is much better than not.
I think it's
okay.
That one last payday, the one last one, and if he has to low key embarrass himself by losing to Jake Paul, it's worth the risk. But if he beats him, it's cool.
Is it just an offer he couldn't refuse?
Right.
Came across his desk, and it's like, how are you gonna say no?
Right. Because I mean, it's not. There's nothing on the line.
No.
He's 58 years old. It's a good move because he's going on Netflix. He's doing it with Jake Paul. It's smart as a promotion thing for Jake Paul and what he's doing. I love all that. You know what I mean? Like, I'd love to see Jake Paul get knocked the fuck out. But I go back to what you said. I would hate to see him the reverse of it though. It'd be sad. It'd be sad. Like, oh man.
It would be sad for sure. I'm excited just because like of the legend that Mike Tyson is. I'm excited to hopefully see a good performance, you know, and maybe Jake can kind of carry him in a way throughout the fight to where it's like a fun fight for us to watch. But I think there is a real possibility that we're going to be like sad by the end of it, you know?
And the only good thing out of it is that Mike got paid one last final time. Because let's imagine this. He beats Jake Paul. Okay? We're all going to be happy. Okay, we'll be happy for like maybe the moment. The next day, be like, whatever, dude. You know what I mean? It's not like they're gonna. Okay, let's say we're gonna run it back. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson,
it's one of those things. This does a lot more for Jake Paul than it does for Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson beats Jake. It's like cool. A couple days later, yeah, the same thing with Jon Jones, Cyril Gane, right? Jake was never that good, Mike. Jake was never that good. That's what they'll say if Mike wins. And then if Mike loses, he can never live it down.
Honestly. I don't know what they'll say if Mike beats Jake, but like, all right, cool. Good to know.
There's not much to say because Jake hasn't accomplished enough.
Yeah, but there's nothing on the line. Their careers, there's nothing like it's a parody fight, but it's cool to watch because it's gonna be on Netflix.
Right.
It's fine. It's smart for Netflix because Netflix is trying to roll out these sporting and live events, which is smart. If they can keep building something like that and make it bigger into like something that's going to be meaningful, like what if one day they came to UFC and UFC does, oh, we're going to do a live thing with Netflix. They have over 500 million subscribers. Good move. Good move. They're going to pay however millions of dollars fucking to do it. But I really don't want to. I'm like you, bro. I don't want to see Mike Tyson get knocked down, dog.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it though. For some weird reason, like some sick reason, I guess. I'm excited to watch it. Are you excited to watch it? You're not even looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it.
Even if I miss it, I'll say I missed it.
Oh, really? So you don't even care if you don't see it?
I don't.
Wow. I do.
Yeah. See, like how you are with, like how you said, the UFC Vegas, the shitty cards?
Yeah. That's one. It's just because of Mike Tyson for me.
I get it. He's a legend. But if it was like Jon Jones' age right now and it was Jake Paul in his prime, okay, I'm going to get up. I want to watch that.
Mm-hmm. Did I watch Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr.? No.
And that's a bigger like guys built what they've done in the sport.
Yeah, two real legends, right? But yeah, I didn't watch that one.
It's like Hill and Anderson when they fought again.
Yeah. But I think that what people need to realize is Chael and Anderson when they fought again, yeah, that was shit. Yeah.
Oh, what are we watching?
That was wild. They didn't even really stream it. There's only like cell phone footage of that one. With what's his name? What were we just talking about?
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. You know, although people in their heart want to like believe in Mike, I think you should brace yourself just for the simple fact that he's older. And dude, Jake is a firing young 27-year-old. Like he's firing. You know, he's got the prime speed and the power. Mike.
You know when I saw that footage though, I didn't like the way Jake Paul looked. I don't know what it was. It
just tapping the pads.
I don't know.
Mike's gonna be just picked off if he does that.
See, Mike's hoping for a one-hitter quitter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's possible.
But I'm just saying, I think people want to see Mike, and you hear a lot of people like, wow, he's looking really powerful. He looks sharp for a 58-year-old, but make no mistake about it. Like, he's not sharper than Jake right now.
Let me tell you this. I think some of the homegirls are having a birthday party bottle service downtown. Mike Tyson or go chill with girls and get bottle service? Where am I gonna go? What am I gonna do? You think I'm gonna call her back and be like, hey, I gotta watch the Mike Tyson fight? They're gonna laugh at me like, what the fuck are you talking about?
He's old as fuck.
Hey, man, pull the fuck up. We're about to pop the bottle, fool. Like, oh shit, I'm on my way.
For sure. Fair enough. You can go watch that instead.
Yeah.
Go to the club instead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go chill with some homegirls and shit.
I'm gonna be watching.
Watch it for me.
All
the shitty UFC cards for you. You watch this one for me.
Yeah, perfect. I think, what else can I say about Mike Tyson, Jake Paul? Not much. I don't think there's much to say.
And they were, I know Ariel had your boy Ariel had interviewed the girl fight.
He loves those ones.
The co-main event.
He loves to do those ones.
And she's the best female boxer of all time. I don't even remember her name. I think she's from Ireland or Dublin.
Yeah. Katie Taylor.
Yeah, so I mean, we got that. I think she's like 38, 39, so she's on the back nine too. No disrespect. Yeah, I guess you're a legend. So, but I wouldn't watch that either.
I ain't watching that one.
See, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know what the kick it off. I don't know who's kicking it off. MMA Alien versus Crazy Kev. Or is it UFC Alien? My bad.
Yeah, the undercard. I think it's like Ashton Silva again. Like, it's all Jake Paul's guys. I even think that I have a low-key thought that Jake Paul like buddied up to these women as a way to like break into the industry. Cause you notice how he uses them to like kind of prop his fights up.
It's smart. I get that.
It's smart. I'm just saying, like, I kind of see his business strategy there too.
My bad. A UFC Alien, not MMA Alien. Let me correct myself on that. MMA
Okay.
Alien.
Yeah, they're two different guys, right? I actually got another thing I can ask you about before we kind of wrap it up. Couple things. We didn't even touch on Jon Jones versus Stipe, so let's just do a quick little breakdown of those. But I wanted.
So heated, bro. You're so heated about Tom and.
I know we didn't even talk about the real fights. Okay, let me. I got 3 topics.
Prediction?
Huh?
You're gonna make a prediction?
I don't think I'm gonna make a prediction, but I'll tell you what I think is gonna happen because I got some thoughts.
All right.
Now the first thing I want to say though, I keep forgetting, so I'm trying to pull it up so I can be reminded. What is it? Oh, the gloves.
Okay.
Do you make anything of the gloves about and
No, I really don't.
would you like me to kind of break it down real quick?
But I don't.
Okay, so you don't make anything of it, is what you're saying?
Nothing.
You don't like. I mean, I don't really make anything of it either, but I just see a lot of the fan clatter about like saying that it's Jon Jones's doing. Jon Jones gets to do his eye pokes now. So what's funny is they're all saying that, and then Jon had something to say about it, and it seems like Jon kind of like potentially got them to switch back
To the other gloves?
Yeah.
I thought it was more like Jon Jones basically was like, "Hey, Dana or Hunter, I don't want to use the new gloves. I want to go to the old gloves." And they said, "All right, dude, we'll do that."
That's what I just said.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought you meant no, they decided to switch back to the new gloves.
No, I'm saying Jon kind of like got them to switch back to the old gloves.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. That yes. I 100% believe that.
You know, I didn't. I thought it had to do with a safety reason.
Jon Jones is like, "Bro, I don't want to use these."
No, I'm saying like I thought that maybe the New York Commission was like saying like, "Oh, these new gloves haven't been certified by so and so yet, so we can't officiate them for our event. You need to go back to the old ones."
So you thought there was like a legal reason behind it?
I thought there was some type of like commission stepping in, but this is the reason from the UFC. I'll just read it off to people.
Okay.
Jon said, "I'm really excited about the old gloves. I got sent a pair of the new gloves several weeks ago. I tried them on and I thought they were tight. I used to fit an XL. With the new glove, I had to put on a triple XL. The shape curving your hands like that, they were very uncomfortable for me. I was actually really stressed thinking about how I'm going to go into fight week wearing these gloves that I don't even want to train in. So when I got a call recently, Hunter Campbell said, "Everyone on this card are veterans. Why put a bunch of vets in the new glove? Let's give you guys all what you're used to. It was a major relief to my coach who wraps my hands. It was a major relief to me as well." So it's like, did Jon say the gloves are uncomfortable? And he said, like, I'm just wondering the behind the scenes of Jon campaigning to get them to change it, or if they did it on their own.
It's the ultimate finessing.
Elaborate.
Basically, he's like, bro, I want to fight with the new one, but here's a reason why. Here's
But
my
does
reason.
Jon have that much power? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, bro, Jon Jones, Dana White sucking his dick every moment. Dana White, a habitual. Jon Jones is the best of all time. Jon Jones, I mean.
And I see that. I just think there's like boundaries. Like, you can't just have Jon. But again, people are like, don't forget Jon Jones. They switched it to a whole new state because they tried to like pop Jon for steroids.
Right.
So it's
Jon
like, shit.
finessed that
They've
too.
done crazier for Jon.
Jon finessed that too. He's a bro. He like.
Why is there always something with Jon?
Well, but he knows how to finesse. Like, you know what I mean? He knows how to use his power, but he wants to play Mr. Nice Guy too.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like,
For sure.
Like Mr. Calm, Mr. Nice Guy, but the moment something like, oh hell no, like you could just see him kind of turn red, like fuck that. I'm not saying he turned red on this, but I'm sure he made the call like, dog. I bet it was more like, dog, I'm not fighting with those gloves.
Yeah, but in that like calm, nice guy, he's like, like I just tried on these gloves, and I'm just not gonna really want to fight if I have to.
And the guy that raps him, he can't do it either. You know, he gave you
Really hard for my coach.
Like, this wouldn't be good for the UFC. I'm doing you a favor. Why don't we just bring the old gloves back? Yeah, let's do that. That makes.
Can you maybe talk to Hunter and see what he thinks? Just let him know that like what I had to say about that, and then they call him back. They're like, "Hey, Jon, why put you guys in old gloves? You guys are all veterans."
Then you just sell it to everybody. Like, all right.
They come back to Jon like it was their idea in the first place.
Buckley goes and tells that to Dana for the Ian Gary fight. Oh, can we fight? No. They didn't go through all this trouble to fucking roll out these new gloves. Because then now the question is like, well, then if we do it here, why can't we do it for the next fight?
And that's what I'm curious to see. Is it going to be a permanent change,
so we can pick and choose when we want to use new gloves, when we don't? I just got in the UFC. I want the old gloves. Today's my first fight, though.
Yeah. Oh, I'm Alex Pereira.
Now, see, he could say that. He say,
they say, "Hey, Alex, hey, all these veterans are on the card. Why give you?
Alex could have saved too many cards for him not to be able to say that."
Yeah, facts. And that's the other thing. Just to touch back to long ago, that's the other thing. Alex has also saved the company on multiple occasions this year. Alex deserves a fight against Jon Jones if he wants to. So again, forget about Tom Aspinall in that case.
I think Tom should fight Jon though next.
You really want that? Don't get me started.
I think it's a good idea. It's a good.
But we're gonna go Jon Jones, Stipe, and then the co-main event, Chandler, Oliveira.
I'm gonna just give my initial reaction. When I first heard about this, I wasn't excited about the main
about which one
or the co-main event. But and the reason why is because they both haven't fought in a while. They're both kind of like older in age. Stipe's 42, Jon Jones is 37. But I get it. It is a legends fight. So the more I think about it, the more I told my producer Ray, I was like, I half of me is like, I love it. The other half of me is like, I guess, because they're both basically one or two fights away from just calling this end, and they're so ring rust in there. But as a fan, if I were to look back on it, it's almost like watching Chuck Liddell versus Tito Ortiz in their, at that time in their career. And of course, I would want to watch it for those reasons. And it is a really good legends fight. The more I think about it and I see them build it up.
Yeah, and I think 30, 40 years from now, I think this is something a lot of people aren't really grasping, and I think Jon is doing a good job of grasping it as far as like mapping out his career goes. 30, 40 years from now, nobody's going to say, yeah, but Jon Jones was 37 and Stipe was 40 and Stipe had been out for 3 or 4 years before he fought Jon. Like, nobody's going to say that. They're going to look at their accomplishments and the great fighters that they were, and they're going to say, that was a fight. That was a good fight. You know, it's like Muhammad Ali, any of his previous fights, do you talk about what age he was when he fought somebody?
No.
Not really. You know, people just appreciate kind of the big fights with the big accolades. You know, they like the big titles. They like to be able to simplify it and be like, you got a reigning champion of 16 times, you know, versus the greatest heavyweight of all time. And that's what they'll talk about 20 years from now, because that's what's easier to remember. The greatest heavyweight of all time fought the greatest UFC fighter of all time, you know, and that's really what this fight is. And again, Aspinall, you know, never booked against Jon. Turns out, you know, Stipe showed up to that fight, right? Jon versus Cyril Gane. Stipe showed up to set that up anyway. So people who talk about like Stipe kind of just got thrown in here, Stipe wanted to come back. He showed up to that fight to set it up.
Right before when he got injured. So yeah, I get that too. Like, you know, this was like when it was originally slated. I guess my thing is with Jon, bro, was like I felt like yes, he is basically the greatest of all time when it comes to this, but he could have been like the legend if he didn't have all the antics in the middle. I think that's always been my thing with Jon Jones, is that he let himself get in his own way. When if he really just had that focus and had that determination to just have that tunnel vision, like maybe a Tom Brady or a Michael Jordan or Kobe, that my whole feeling right now would have been super different. But he let all.
He could have been like a 25
Bro, he
time
would
champion.
literally have been like hands down impossible. Like he would have had 10 more wins under his belt, right? And just fucking just ran through everybody, and just it would have been great, bro. It would have been insane. It would have been insane, but instead we're more talking about like, all right, you know, he's got back in the game. You know, he's gonna do his final kind of like, you know, his final hoorah in the UFC, his final like, you know, parade almost. You know what I mean? Go through these last few fighters and, you know, ride off into the sunset, which I hope he does. It could have been so much more. That's my thing.
I hear you. I feel like, yeah, it could have been a lot more too, in a way. I think the space in between fights was kind of something that like kind of like dulls his light. You know, if he were to be more active over the course of time, I think his light would have continued to get bigger. But yeah, it keeps dulling the light every time he takes a year and a half off. You know, and
it was because of things outside of the cage. His focus wasn't there anymore, bro. He wasn't determined to be the next GSP. He wasn't. If I were to look at the GOATs, I'd put GSP ahead of Jon Jones. The only reason I say that is just because GSP was so focused. He was not going to. He did not let the antics get in his way. He was laser focused, bro, and he retired when he should have retired. Now, if I were to 170, 185 versus someone that's 205 and 225, yeah, you're the baddest. It's like a Mike Tyson. You're the baddest motherfucker walking around, bro. I know that. But he just got himself in his way. The car accident, the hit and run, fucking the coke, fucking going to jail. And look I told you this before. I live in a glass house. Bro, get my skeletons out. Woo. Like, I can't speak on it. Mm-hmm. I just wish something else, and it is what it is, though, you know. And here we are now watching him fight Stipe. Stipe's 42, and he's, you know, about to be 38, and you're both on the tail end. All right, that's what I mean. It's a fans, it's a legends fight. Cool. They set up the Alex Pereira fight, even better.
Yeah, I can understand what you're saying about Jon. It's hard for me to put it into words, but yeah, I feel like we're on the same page. My thing about saying it is just like, I feel like we could have got more from Jon. But again, the antics, whatever, we didn't get all of that, you know? Like, the consistency, a lot of interviews. But hey, like maybe all of that in hindsight allowed him to be 37 and just like, he's played it really good. That's what I'll say. He's like most people, if you ask who can I map out my career like, it's like GSP or Jon Jones as far as like longevity. Even though Jon Jones party, you take that out, the way he picked fights and stuff all the way up until
and you
his
can,
age. Because longevity,
you can kind of
is a
see
big
that the
thing
way
in the
he
sport.
talks about things right now. You could tell. He said it. Yeah, you could tell even like what he said
Wise.
today is like, I'm rolling into my 40s. I'm a grown ass man. Like, like if I want to do it this way and this is the way I want to plan out the end of my career, this is what I'm going to do. I get that. And I've
And
definitely
he's
earned, respected, fucking the dude is a killer, bro. Killer. I can only imagine his
Right.
3 other brothers bro, like those guys are beasts in their own spectrum in their own world in the NFL. Super.
And that's why Jon is who he is.
Well, I
He
mean,
grew up with those
he
brothers.
he was a wrestler, right? His brothers was in the NFL, went to
Yeah.
college, and played college football, and then went into the NFL at the highest level, right? Even right now, fucking Super Bowl champion 3-time or 2-time with the Chiefs. His other brother fucking won with the New England Patriots. Like the shit's crazy. Like, bro, that's
That
scary.
Jones
But
blood.
imagine with all the brothers together, it's like, man, Jon Jones will fuck both you motherfuckers up, dog. Like,
Yeah. But he was the runt
I
for a
bet,
while there, probably.
I bet,
'Cause
bro,
he's the
I bet.
skinniest.
But now
Yeah.
it's the killer,
But
bro.
now he's
Like,
the
because
beast.
we all know he's a fucking savage when it comes to this UFC MMA shit, bro. He knows what he knows, and he knows how to strike. He knows how to fucking get you in fucking jiu-jitsu shit, and bro, it's crazy.
Yeah. Now, as far as my little breakdown of the fight, here's where I'm thinking it's going to be very exciting. Jon Jones is coming off of a surgery in his pec. That's a big deal. It's not like a elbow injury or, this is
Muscle,
like,
right?
huh? It's your muscle. But like, think about all the things you use your pec for. That's like for punching and all these things. And I think, it also, he's 37. I think recovering from a surgery like that, coming back kind of like right away, who's to say he doesn't have a lingering injury, right? As far as like some lingering stuff from the recovery. Because you know how they say if this part kind of gets injured, then the left side compensates and like other injuries can occur that way. So who knows if he's built up some other injuries along the way. My point is that Stipe, in contrast, 4 years off, healthy, no injuries, hasn't been training like beating down his body. So I think you're getting a super healthy Stipe, and I think you're getting a Jon coming off of surgery. And I'm telling you, surgeries,
But didn't
come back
Stipe just
100%.
get knocked the fuck out by Nagano?
Yeah, but that was like 4 years ago. Still. But I'm saying, 4 years off, I think he's been able to recover his brain and his body. Huh?
You can see how excited I am for
again?
it, though.
You're not that excited.
I am. Yeah, I'm super
You sure?
excited. You know what? It's funny because I know when it comes on, I'm gonna be like glued.
Dude, it's gonna
And
be
it's
an
MSG. That's what I love too. I love that it's MSG. I wish we were in New York right now. That'd be fucking. Yeah, that I've been at MSG in a couple events there. That's sick. That is.
Mm-hmm. I'll be curious to see if Jon can kind of like push back Stipe, and I want to see how Jon can take one of Stipe's shots. That's one of my 2 things I'll be looking at. How much can Jon push back Stipe, and how can Jon take one of Stipe's shots? I think that's going to be the big X factor. If Stipe is getting backed up and bullied by Jon does great. And I think if Stipe is able to use that jab, use his boxing on Jon, could be a long night for Jon. Reaching for takedowns and all that stuff, like Dominic Reyes.
So what happens too if Stipe knocks out Jon? All over.
It's all over. Yeah.
I mean,
which would be very exciting.
It's not all over, but it's like
no Aspinall, no Pereira.
All of that
Jon's done. Jon might still return for Pereira. Okay, last one. Can you give me a brief one? Because I'm sure we both got to go. Michael Chandler, Charles Oliveira, anything?
Not exactly.
Let me ask this.
Because it's
then. Why
another
don't you give a
one
fuck?
where I'm like, I don't. Chandler, bro, like I know it's done. It's over. It's over, bro. You're not beating Islam. This is another Legends fight. You know what? And I like actually,
I hear you.
every time I hear Michael talk, I like him. You know, he reminds me of like a motivational speaker. And he has all these dreams and all these aspirations, but like how old is Chandler now?
38.
Okay, but for the fans, cool. Charles Oliver, I think that you're gonna go and probably get another submission. Oh, he got a submission last time, right? Yeah. He's
Choked
gonna
him out,
want
I
to
believe.
redeem himself from the Armin Sakurian because I picked Charles to beat Armin. Armin came in there and fucking, and it was funny. I was rewatching it. Charles almost got it, and Armin got out. Armin was able to flip it, and then he submitted fucking Oliver. I was like, whoa, for you to do that, and he's what? Armin's only 28. Charles Oliveira better get this fucking win, bro. Like, don't.
Is the reason why you're not excited because, like you said earlier, is one of those where there's nothing on the line?
Okay, well, and then Michael Chandler's like, okay, he's been waiting for Conor for so long. I don't know. Chandler's like that girl you feel bad for, but you broke up with her, but you're like still trying to help her out just because like you kind of like still have love for her, but you're like, and your girl's like, dude, you let her go now. Like we can't help her out anymore. You know, Dana's just like, all right, bro, we'll give you. And Charles Oliver's like, bro, go get the win. Just go get the win, dog. You'll be back in title contention. Because Charles loses this, it's over for him too.
We'll see. It's. I'll be honest too. You know, maybe your fucking lack of excitement just rubbed off on me. But like, no, but to be real, right?
Were you excited before?
What? I mean, just to keep it a buck, it's like this. Like, I don't really do much prepping for this, right? I don't sit down and think about all my points about like how I'm excited about, when we do a Joaquin Buckley breakdown, I didn't sit down in my phone and put down like fucking like bullet points. That's all pure, true, like excitement about everything that surrounds the fight. 2 top rising contenders, people falling out, short notice fights. Like, this doesn't have any of that, This doesn't even have
two upcomers, 2 rising stars,
yeah.
2 guys on a streak.
These are 2 guys who are already, one's a former champion, one
coming,
fought for the
just
belt.
ready to fly. This one is more like, but
there's nothing for me to talk about off the top of my head.
Like, and this is kind of another Legends fight almost. It's like, all right, for the fans, I get that.
And I will appreciate the fight just talking points wise. There's not much
it's
there.
the whole fight to me, the main and the co-main, it's a Legends fight. Like, okay, I'm glad that the UFC did put it together. They did put it in a card. They did put it in Madison Square Garden, and we get to see these guys as fans. They're like fan favorites, right? Charles is a fan favorite. Michael Chandler is a fan favorite. Jon Jones, they're goats, in their own respective, timelines. And so now we get to kind of answer all those questions. But we'll see where the Bo Nickel thing excites me. I want to see him. Yeah, I want to see. That's a good test too. Paul Craig's a great test for him. And this goes back to what you said about, hey, let's build these guys. I love where Bo Nickel's mind's at. He's not too much of a rush to get ahead of himself. He's fighting these guys here. He's going there. If he gets built, I think he's gonna knock Bo Nickel out.
Yeah. You think so?
And I want to pick Paul Craig. I'm a big Paul Craig fan. He looked in shape too, bro. I was seeing some of the footage. Like, damn, that motherfucker looks cut. And he's deadly on the ground. Yeah. I don't know. I always thought Bo Nickel was like more of a really good wrestler, but he has some hands on him though. The boy can throw.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, bro. I just noticed that my camera froze. I think
we're not even live no more.
No, you're live, but if you look on YouTube, my frame is frozen. I don't know when that happened.
Just so everybody knows, Parry Punch loves Tom Aspinall. He wants to see the Jon Jones Tom Aspinall fight. He told me behind the scenes. He's lying to you, motherfuckers.
No, I want Tom Aspinall to fight Cyril Gane. Actually,
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
that's the one I want to see.